Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Eustace Farmer and you're watching episode 4 in our Cobra Park Let's Play series. So I think this is going to be quite an interesting endeavor we've got going on here. We're going to go into organic farming. At least I think we are. What I mean by that is right now we're in the first stages of preparing for our organic endeavor. I dragged the old table saw out from the garage, hooked it up to the front of the semi-tractor here, and we're going to use that to cut some of this wood that I have stored in the bunker to a more manageable length. And we need a more manageable length because we're going to be delivering this wood down to a new carpenter that has opened up shop down at the lumber mill. And he in turn is going to process the boards and make beehives for us. What are we going to do with the beehives? You guessed it. We're going to be bringing them down to our new beekeeping houses so the bees can be happy and comfortable and they can make some wonderful honey for us, which we can sell, but we can also take that honey and we can bring it to another company that's in the stages of building their facility right now. They make honey milk. So they'll make the honey milk for us, and then we can take that and distribute it how we see fit. And I know just a place to sell the honey milk. There's another facility that opened up, and they are more than happy to buy the honey milk from us, and I'm going to show you where everybody is and what's going on. There's been a lot of construction going on here at the main farm and around the area, and I'm excited to show it all to you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting up this wood, and I'll be back right after this. Alright, just putting on the last strap here. Everything's snug as a bug in a rug. Get that trailer folded up and we'll get on our way. But beforehand, I don't know if you've noticed this little shed that I put up here. There used to be a little stone barn that was here before, and it was crumbling away. So we took it down and put that new shed in, and we made a wide border around the field so we can get equipment next to the harvester. So it may have been a little aggressive over here at the entranceway, so we'll probably narrow that down. But it's a help back here. And that little patch of grass, that's where the electricians had to go underneath the building to run some electrical. So we'll be throwing some seed on that by hand in another episode. But overall, looking pretty good, I gotta say. All right, so let's go ahead and let's quit faffing around here and get in the tractor and get down to that carpenter. But first things first, before I forget, let's go ahead and put this table saw back in the garage so Farmer Samuels doesn't get on me for that. Leaving it out here in the rain. If the rain comes, and it will, it's merry old England, so we can always anticipate a little bit of fog and rain. There we go. And put our toys away for next day play. Close it up. And off we go. Being careful not to smash our canola crop back here, now that we don't have that gate anymore. All right, let's roll. So while we're on our drive here, if you don't mind, I'd just like to talk to you about one thing. I promise not to bring it up too often, but I figure this time it's kind of warranted. And this is not only for people my age, but also for the younger people. There's a lot of young folks that watch my channel, and I thank you very much for that. I had an individual, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, a troll, that says, really likes my videos a lot, but my fake laugh is so irritating it makes him grind his teeth every time he hears it. Can you please cut that out of the video? Well, the answer to that is no. I don't find that as a flaw. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, and that, I guess, laugh I do, that's just part of who I am. I find things funny in life. Sometimes some of the mistakes I make I find funny. You know, you kind of have to laugh at yourself sometimes to keep from crying. So what I can say to a lot of the younger viewers out there, especially in the teenage realm, if you have flaws, you'll know them. I mean, come on. And if you don't, if somebody brings a flaw to your attention, you can tell if it's reasonable or not, and then you can go ahead and work on that. I mean, we all know when we're being a jerk. Come on, you know what I mean? But as far as things like that go, don't even pay it any mind. Just go about your life and don't worry. And in that aspect, don't change for anybody. Be open and receptive to constructive criticism and ways to improve what you do in life, but overall, who you are as a person, stay true to that. Stay true to your values, and especially what your parents have taught you. Stay true to that. And to interrupt here for a second, there's the honey milk factory currently under construction. They're working away there. Well, actually looks like they're on a lunch break right now, pretty quiet. So we're going to be delivering some of this wood here. They're going to actually craft flooring supports out of it. So we just have to drop it off to them. And then towards the end of this episode, it'll fast forward a few weeks and you'll see the completed facility. So getting back to what I was saying, for an example, you know, when I first met my wife, she tried to put me in, you know, designer polo shirts and nice, you know, khaki clothing and all this stuff. And that's just not me. I mean, I'm not a slob, but, you know, when we go out places, I can dress up really nice. But overall, I'm a jeans and t-shirt and kind of Chuck Taylor high top kind of guy. And that's just who I am. Take it or leave it. And she took it. She loves me for the person that I am. So she's a great woman. All right, so just off the story here, what I'll do is I'll throw a couple of these in here just so you can see, you know, how the process is done with this mod. I will say it is a little persnickety. Towards the end, I was throwing wood in and it wouldn't take anymore, but it wasn't finished. It said it's finished when it hits 16,000 units, and it went to 15,000 and something, and I think it's fallen victim to that fatal 99% flaw with giant stuff. But it looked complete because it said it's complete when you see 16,000 or when you see the vines covering the back of the building. And I saw that, and but I didn't test it to see if it worked, but everything was there. It looked no different when I went into the XML and, you know, made it 16,000 units instead. I just wanted to make sure it was 100%. But it looked fully functional. So just to take a little detour off the road to the BGA here, I thought I would take you down this area. This area used to dead end into a place that was unusable. There was a little house back there and a little fence in front of it to not permit you to go any further. So that's all been changed here. They took away that home. It was old, so they tore it down. And they built the shop over here. So this shop accepts everything as far as the honey milk production goes. So you can sell your beehives, you can sell your honey, you can sell your honey milk, sell it all right back here. And it's a nice little drive down this nice dirt path. And it's a pretty whimsical looking place. Has a muffin with flowing with honey fountain. And then around the back here, that's your loading zone. So I'm going to have to test this because it does seem to sit a little high based on the terrain. I think it will take it, but nonetheless, I'll have to test that. And as you see from the big old sign, we are arriving at our newly renovated BGA/lumber complex here. And over here on the right is the carpenter's shed, and he makes the beehives for us. And you can see one is completed, sitting out there already. So the builders have afforded us a couple of options for wood drop-off. So if it's not a terribly busy day, you can park over here across the street from the carpenter's shed, and you can just walk the lumber in the front door straight away without a problem. But I'll show you the rest of the place once we give him what he needs to keep on going, because if he runs out of lumber, or if there's a beehive made and not picked up, he takes a big break and he waits for you to come and retrieve that and give him more lumber. So as you see here, it's a pretty nice setup, and he's working hard. He goes ahead and takes the planks off of the saw, and then he cuts them to length to make the beehive wood, And when he runs out of planks, he'll go outside and get some more, which are stacked up out there. Is really cool. And here's a beehive that's not finished yet. And here he is. He's doing some of his preliminary crafting. And then he's going to mosey on over and get his little dolly cart over here. And he'll bring it over to that piece and stack it on top. There it goes. He does it with telepathy. Pretty incredible guy. And then, yeah, that's it. And there he goes. He's going to get some more wood planks because we delivered a lot of lumber. So if he doesn't get hold of the wood plank when it comes out the other side, I guess, it'll get put on the pile out there and he can go and retrieve it afterwards. But that's it. Pretty awesome, huh? So that one's in the making. And I moved this over here. And I will say they're a little tricky. You go to pick it up. If you even slightly look at something or bump into something, it'll go flying. So they're made with that special flying pine tree wood. So anything made with this wood, you bump into stuff and it'll go flying. So it's thank goodness that they don't build boats. All right, let's go ahead and cinch this on here and get down to our beehives. So I'll just show you the rest of the place since we're pulling out. So that shed right there was lengthwise against the fence and it kind of blocked the clamp. So that has been moved. And over here, the wood pile has been reduced and moved over to make way for the carpenter shop. And the sawmill itself has been moved forward away from the fence. So you can now drive around the back. And then there was some crates over in the left corner. Those have been distributed around the sawmill, as you see. Get them out of the way. And then that little bin on the side of the carpenter shop, I think that's for wood chips. And I'm not sure about that water tank. Like I said, this is not a mod review, so I haven't looked into this extensively, but I will be able to tell you more in the coming episode. Yeah, it's looking really good down here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and leave him to it. And let's go ahead and get to our beehives. And of course, just another little detour on the way to the beehives. Just wanted to show you guys the soy milk factory. So we're going to be growing soy, especially in field 14. It's a nice big field. So we'll be bringing our soy here. And it's really, really cool inside. Everything works just like kind of like the sawmill. The tanks, they bubble and you see everything go through its processes and all that. So it's pretty cool. Now I showed this when I was doing one of my Giants Editor tutorials. But for those of you who didn't see that, I just thought I would just give you a brief little synopsis here. And that's where you'll pick up your byproduct that you can feed to your pigs. So all the mash that's left over from making the milk. All right, so now we're going to get the beehives situated. So you might be thinking, Eustace, what the heck does all this beehive stuff have to do with the organic farming? Well, we're going to be making a natural product, the honey, and we're going to be selling it to make another natural product, the honey milk. And the bees can help pollinate the crops and even keep away certain pests. I mean, you know, honeybees are basically docile, but they don't tolerate things that invade their hives. So there's a benefit to that. And we're going to be planting our crops using the more natural methods. We're going to be doing slurry and manure spreading, and we're going to be using the weeder. Also, I did a little research, and I don't know how this would work on a large scale. I know it's only done for small scale crops. You know, and I'm talking like large gardens. But to keep away pests, you can spray a mixture of a very mild natural detergent mixed with a vegetable oil. And what it does is it smothers the existing bugs and it will coat any subsequent insects that come onto the plants and suffocate them. So it's known to be very successful on a smaller scale for organic farming. So if we do have to use a sprayer, that's the solution that we can put in the sprayer to spray our crops with. It's not going to give it a nutrient, but it'll sure be a deterrent from pests that will destroy our crops. All right, so as promised, it's a few weeks later, and the facility is all built, And they're waiting to do their ribbon cutting ceremony, but it's all ready and raring to go. So we'll just open it up and have a look inside. Got the nice sterilely clean shelving and the homogenizer for the milk. And then over here is the, looks like the electrical and server room to electronically control the machinery. Very nice. Nice little touch with that warm wood door. And that's about it over here. And then around the side here, if you climb up these stairs carefully, you'll find this little attic space over here, and it's kind of like a utility room. And there's the rest of the electronics over there that power the machinery. So it's pretty well thought out, very detailed. Really, really nice. So let's go ahead and throw the drone up in the air and we'll give you an overall view, because this thing also is powered by solar power. So that's pretty cool. So there's our solar panels. So I guess that kind of explains those electrical banks in that little room over there. That's probably how you deliver the electricity to the machinery from the solar panels. Coming in for a nice smooth landing. Nice. All right, so I won't hold you hostage any longer. We'll bring this episode to a close. So I really do appreciate you watching, and I know you have a lot of choices of whom to tune into, and I'm thrilled to be one of them. That being said, I know there's been a large gap in my video posting lately, and I'm intending to narrow that gap. The reason being is I've undergone some treatments for an injury that I sustained several years ago to help with the pain. So I really do hope you'll understand. And please stay tuned and join me for this little organic adventure as we unfold it more. So until we meet again, my friends, please take great care of yourself, okay? And bye-bye for now.